Hey, welcome back. Here I am again. You may have seen in a previous video I was discussing my son's Yamaha YZ250F. Here it is. This bike is a 2025 bike. My son, he saved up and then he borrowed half the money off me, and Yamaha were doing a really great deal on brand new bikes here in the UAE, and so he bought himself his first ever motorcycle. So that was pretty proud of him for doing that. Previously he's had a small 110 semi-auto when he was like, I don't know, 9-10 years old, and then he got a Yamaha, and then a bike in the background. Off he goes. Can you hear that? Yeah, he's going for it. He bought him, well, I bought him a Yamaha TTR 125 from Clive Paget down in Yorkshire, and Clive had a number of new old stock Yamaha TTRs, and we got that for him in COVID, I believe. Yeah, so that was a nice buy, and Clive gave us lots of time, took some pictures with the bike. You know, that was his first real bigger bike. So, and then he's progressed onto this. No real interest in riding on the road, but he does like trail riding and enduro stuff, which is, you know, as a father, I'm pretty happy about. Hopefully he'll be road riding when he's, you know, when he's moved on out of my house and out of my care. So, here's his bike. Now, this bike is a wonderful bike. It is everything you could hope for in a off-road and motocross bike. We use it for enduro and for riding dunes, so we're not really flat out on it everywhere. It's just sort of like you know, brat, go up a dune, roll around, ride fast, slow down, this kind of stuff. We've modified it, just put some guards on it. What else have we done to it? We just put some guards on the sides and stuff, just some practical stuff, and not much else. We broke a lever, we changed the lever for the clutch, and we've put a Tusk fan kit on it. So these bikes don't come with a fan because they're always moving, so they never really get that hot. So, but here it's very hot. So typically you ride from 6 a.m. till about 10 a.m, 11 a.m. in the winter, and then you're done. It gets quite warm and quite sticky, and it's not really that pleasant. So, but it's perfect because then you have the rest of the day free to recuperate. Okay, we've had some problems with this bike. So this bike is an updated bike from the previous 2024 model, and Yamaha think that they've improved it, which I don't think they have. The bike rides brilliantly, but there's a few features on this bike that are just poor in terms of design. One of those things is the seat. The seat, you might notice this strap. This seat has sitting on the petrol tank, a little captive nut and a hook that the seat hooks onto, but that is prone to breaking. Like, you know, if you stack the bike, if you fall, and you know, we're riding dunes, we fall. You know, we jump, we fall, we get up again, we go again. Good thing about sand, it's quite soft. That broke, and so we had to jury rig this to make it, you know, keep the front of the seat down. You can see it's moving quite a lot here. That's one thing. The second thing that is very poor on this bike is the air filter housing. Yamaha, in the infinite wisdom, had decided to completely redesign how the air filter is located on this bike, and to me it just makes no sense. I have a Yamaha WR450F, which is like an enduro style bike, and I bought that from England, and I brought it here to ride because I wasn't really doing much riding in England. I'm not really a motocross guy. I've seen so many injuries and people hurting themselves. I know you're having fun out there, but for me, just, you know, I ride track, and I've crashed on the track, and some people might look at me and go, that's not much safer, but yeah, it's fine. I think everyone has their own sort of risk appetite, and also what they're into. And for me, motocross is fun if I'm on my own riding around a track. It's fun. I'll do some jumps, I'll ride within myself and slowly, so very slowly, because it's not, I'm not that, but enduro riding, I enjoy it, and nothing too hardcore. I just want to, you know, just enjoy going through some trails and some, like, you know, lanes and stuff, going up a few hills. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, more recreational stuff, nothing too serious. I'm not that into it, but it's really fun, really fun. Anyway, I digress. Yamaha designed this airbox, so instead of having a central pin which locates the air filter onto the airbox, they decided to redesign it with a pin that goes on the back of the air filter and one on the front, and you locate the back of the filter, and then you sort of like run a rubber little like a rubber latch onto the front, and it sort of locates the air filter firmly down. Now, the problem is with that is that if you don't realize when you first see this bike that you have to clip the air filter in backwards first, like, and then really secure it and then do the front bit, you'll find that you'll have a gap in the back of the air filter, which is a disaster, especially if you're riding in sandy or dusty conditions, because you're letting dust into the airbox. Ask me how I know, because when we put a sand skin on this bike, I didn't locate it properly, so there was a slight gap. I checked it out, there was a slight gap. I was really unhappy. It took me ages to work out how to. Maybe I'm dim-witted. Maybe I should have realized that straight away. Maybe you guys out there in the, you know, in the web world, like would have known immediately that this is how it locates. But the airbox, yeah, I didn't realize that, and it was just a mistake on my part. No one showed me, and I looked online to see the fitting. There's no one really doing the fittings and showing that this is the technique. There's a little knack to it. It's not rocket science, but it's definitely a knack to this bike. Anyway, also when you take the air filter off, and even if you've brushed off all the loose dust, there's a risk that the debris will fall into the airbox, and that's what happened to me. My fault, completely my fault, user error. I took the airbox off even though I'd brushed it off, and I saw some tiny bits of sand particles in the airbox itself, which was very devastating to see, because obviously it's a brand new bike, and sand will make short work of the engine. So what I'm going to do today is, I don't want to start the bike. What I want to do is, I bought one of these cheap Chinese bore scope things. Where is it? It's over there somewhere. Let me get it. I bought one of these cheap Chinese bore scope things, and hopefully what I'm going to do is take the petrol tank off, take everything off, and look down the cylinder head. And if I see that it's full of sand or anything, I'm going to try and follow the advice of ChatGPT basically, and fill it with some oil or something. Well, spray oil inside it, and then just blow the crap out of it. Hopefully it will just eject. Well, as much as I can. I do have a compressor somewhere, so I'm going to try and do that. Hopefully I'll look in there and it's pristine and it's fine. I'll button it all up, and I'm being paranoid, but we haven't been able to ride because of this situation, so we're going to do that. The other thing we're going to do is fix the seat, but we'll do that later. I've got the pin, locating pin. Yamaha got it for me, but they can't sell me a bolt, and they can't sell me the nut that goes onto the end of it. So I'm going to have to do something and then just araldite it into the tank, and then hopefully that will secure it, because it's a pretty shoddy design if you ask me. Yamaha, please do better. But yeah, it's something that we need to look into. All right, too much talking. Let's get on with actually doing some stuff. I'm going to leave you there and I'll show you some stuff as we get closer. Excuse this tie wrap thing. It's because we were out in the field and we needed to secure the seat back down. In fact, his weight was keeping the seat down anyway, so this was just belt and braces really, just trying to keep it as secure as possible. There's the buckle. Right, one of these T-handle things. Okay, so let's get the seat off. I would do close-ups, but I think you can see it's just a bolt, and I'm just undoing it. There we go. Let's put these down here. The only problem of living away from home is you don't have access to all the stuff that you usually have access to. That's out. Apparently people don't like this locating. It's a Zeus fastener in the middle, and it just, a lot of people do not appreciate it. Put this down here. I think it's just a bit of a too much of a faff. Right, what's next? Knock that off. One of those. Reaching over the bike so I don't stand in front of you. It's surprising how many of these bolts sometimes just come undone because of vibration. It's astonishing, actually. Do I? Yep, do that one. Don't want to take off too much. The two panels split, so yeah. Right. I'll show you the tank thing in a minute. One panel off. Sit that down there. That should just come off, shouldn't it? Let's go around the other side. Get these bits off. Got an odd bolt there. Need one of these. Allen key. This is from England. Not sure why that's necessary to know. Bought some tools from England, and the rest I just bought some cheap stuff to here because, you know, otherwise you end up buying hundreds and hundreds of tools, and I don't really want to do that. Right. Don't know if you can see this here, but this is a rubber strap that goes onto a locking pin here, and it's the same for this side. I'll show you actually. Is it worth showing you? Yeah, of course it is. But first, let's just take the rest of the fairing off. Hot here. I'm in the shady bit. Got a little shade. That's enough of that. Take that one off and that will come apart, and we can get the fuel tank off. Lovely bike though. My son really enjoys it. It sounds great, it goes great. Played around with suspension, got it all wrong. Absolutely got it all wrong. Bike was unrideable, absolutely unrideable, because I was looking online for people's settings and how to set it up. Went completely the wrong direction, and then put it back to standard, and then stiffened up the compression damping a little as recommended, and transformed the bike again, made it really stable, set the sag. It's that 110mm sag on these, so it's sort of like high. So should we have a look? Let me bring you over. Let you have a look. Right. Here we are. These are the things that I'm talking about. So the petrol tank here, you can see this hook, this screw here with this, you know, Phillips head there. It has a little collar on it, and then it goes into this nut. Same thing goes here. They cannot sell me the nut or the screw. They can only sell me the piece that goes on top with the hook on it. So I've got to get a new nut and get a get a new nut and then get a new bolt to put on it. But also I've looked on the internet, people araldite this in, because you can see this has just come out just with the shock of rolling about on the bike. There's the tank, and this is the offending thing. This is so that's a filter skin on top of a thing. Look, it's got this rubber thing. Usually my bike, proper bike, it's got it right in the middle and it just holds that firmly down. And then when you take this off, look, this is clipped on now quite firmly. When you take this off, there's a danger, a real danger, of things falling down there. Some dust there. You can see some dust. That is not what you want to see on your bike. You do not want to see dirt and dust. Look, this bike lives in a very harsh climate, and so you're going to expect some dust and debris and very slight dust maybe to get in there. And obviously I'm expecting 0. I didn't want anything to go in there, but you have to be realistic. So this is the life of a bike that lives in the UAE, in the sand. So, but we don't want big sand particles to go in there, and that will never do. So let's take the rest of this off. I'm going to put this somewhere safer because I don't want this to get dirty, and I'll be back in a moment with some cloth. So I'm back. I got myself my trusty laser spark plug tools. Okay. Right, that's in. The old lifty loosey. Why is it not coming out? That's not good. That is well out, but it's not grabbing said spark plug. Why are you not grabbing the plug? Very unhelpful. The old plier thing. Usually the tool grabs the plug, it has a little rubber bung in it. Perfect. NGK, LMRO, let's have a look at that plug. Ah, it looks good. It's a good looking plug. Put it up here, let's keep it out of the way. Pliers, right, now we're into this bad boy. Okay, so let me show you. Oh, got it upside down for starters. Get that out of the way. There we go. Right, that wraps off. That's probably all we need. There we go. That's probably more than sufficient. Let's tie that all back. Otherwise it's all going to go everywhere, isn't it? Right. Right, there you go. So, how much was this? Thinking it's like 25 quid, right? Power endoscope. There we go. You can flip it round and you can see That's showing the bike. But what we want to see is it's got a light on it. You can make it brighter and darker. Can you see that? Right, let's have a go. Wish me luck. Hopefully no sand. Make this straighter. It's got no sand. I'm going to be so happy. Two rugger sugar, if you know what that means. You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about getting this thing actually stuck inside the engine because I had an awful feeling that might come off. It's just me being paranoid. Right, it looks pretty good in there. See some particles, but nothing. Right, I'm going to charge the battery and I'm going to put it on the. It looks clean. It looks clean. Just as a precaution, I'm going to throw some WD-40 down it. Obviously, the WD-40 might wash the piston a bit and the cylinder wall, which is not ideal. And then what I'll do is I will use an airline and try and blow the crap out of it. But I don't think there's much crap in it, to be fair. I think it's all right, and I think actually I'm actually probably do more harm than good. So I think I'm going to button it up, make sure all this is secure, clean out this airbox area a bit more, and then fix that fuel tank because I need to get some fittings for that, get some Araldite, and I think we're good to go. Hopefully we can ride on the weekend, maybe not. Yeah, all right. That just confirmed to me that everything's as it should be, really. It's okay. It didn't ingest copious amounts of sand accidentally. Oh, that's not fitting. Okay. Need this again. Gently hold that. Lower her in the hole. Too many tools in my hands. Some people say that when these bikes run, even if they ingest a tiny bit of sand, it gets ejected pretty smartly as well, but I think that's just sort of comfort. People get told that to feel comfortable. So when I put the spark plug in, I rotate it anti-clockwise, just so I can feel it seat. That's seated, and then I rotate it the correct way by hand. Make sure it's going in. Last thing you want is a cross-threaded spark plug. Be the most annoying thing ever. Spark plugs, oh gosh. So I got another bike. Spark plugs were frozen inside the engine, well, inside the heads. It took ages. WD-40, PB blaster, just warming up it, cooling it down, just trying to get it to a state where we could, you know, torque them on and off, just to get them going and then take them off. It took me 2 weeks, 3 weeks to keep blasting it, and then I finally managed to get the spark plugs off. It was really touch and go. I was prepared to have to take off the heads, which was not something that I'd recommend to anyone if you didn't have to do it. Nice and snug. Doesn't need to be F-tight, like really tight. I had a friend who used to torque them up so much. You'd be like you're going to cause yourself a problem one day. Soft aluminium head, and you're just wrenching on it for like a monkey, like holding onto it. It's just trying to get it located. It's just not really the thing to do, I don't think. I've got this keeper. It's like a little fork that goes over the top of the spark plug boot, and then a little bolt that keeps it on top. Okay, here's the old T-handle. What's that? It's an 8. Need a 10. Ah, there's the 10. Ooh. Okay. That can bend. A bit too tight. That's all right. It's fine. Put the tank back in position. Put the tank back in position. You've seen down here anyway, so it's fine. And we'll go from there. There we go. Still got to fix this thing. Job for tonight. Arrow light, nut, stubby bolt, and hopefully the seat will fit on. Let's have a look. Yeah, the seat's got room on it. Put a bolt on it. Should actually be better with a bolt. It will sit on it better. Right, where were we? So we need 2 of these. Everything's an 8. Pretty warm out here. Lucky I'm in some shade. Everyone's at work, so I'm able to get on with this. I don't know if you, like me, you're in a fortunate position where you can work kind of online, and if you work late or something, you can get your work done, and then I can give myself the morning off because I'm sort of ahead of the game, and then I can pick it up in the afternoon when it's a bit hotter, and also it's not very pleasant to be in the hot sun. So lucky I have this shady bit, and also everyone's at work, so I'm not getting disturbed. I think everyone thinks I'm mad anyway. Here's some tissue.
Guys, that's the end of the part 1 of this video. Part 2 is when I tackle the actual petrol tank. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.